Hey everybody, we back again. I'm Spencer. Shut up. And of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Hello, Dr. Nas, people. Dr. Nas. Yes. The vivacious, the lovely, the supple.
Rough and tumble. All right. And this is the Different Spectrums podcast, where we talk about movies, shows, and all the mental health aspects that surround them. We also like to have some laughs, so don't take us too seriously.
Or do. But today's going to be a fun one, so you're going to laugh. And if you don't, today's not for you.
I want seriousness all the time. There you go. All right. And before we get into it, check out Bub's Naturals. It's one of our sponsors for the show. And also, Cure Hydration. Great hydration packs you can put into your water. Delicious. I'm drinking it now. I got grapefruit.
Oh, you're so hydrated.
The variety pack.
There you go.
I'm so hydrated right now.
I can see it in your skin. Yeah.
It's not oily for once. All right.
Damn, I need to get some.
Black don't
over here blotting.
So go check out Cure Hydration and Bub's Naturals and use our code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order. DSP20. Use it. Also, don't forget to check out our merch. We have a lot of fun stuff. And we keep on creating things just for you, just for all of you viewers out there. So go check it out, buy some of it, spread the word.
Spread the word. Like Jehovah Witness, spread the word.
Yep. Go knocking on doors and say, Different Spectrum Podcast, and then just run away. All right. So today we have our regular guest. She's a licensed clinical therapist. It's Vic, everybody. Yay. Woo. There's
Thanks
a bat.
for having me back, guys.
She just hit a bat. I don't know.
She got to beat them. She got to beat the men off her these days. You know, she's good looking.
Any particular reason? Region?
No,
a couple upgrades, you know.
She did. She's coming in. She's having a glow up.
I'm gonna look good.
Glow up.
Yeah.
2 pair of upgrades. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Victoria's Secret.
She's right. They're not a sponsor. Ignore her. All right. No. I gotta get into this.
Hey, you never know.
No. All right.
Hey, I'll wear it. Shit. Shit, that should look good.
That's a different conversation for a different day.
Okay.
Right. So today, as you can see by the poster, usually what we're about to watch, it's Shrek, everyone. We're watching Shrek, the first movie of the 4-part series. We'll say that. Yeah, 4, 5 soon, but whatever. And today we're going to be talking about layers. We're going to be talking about isolation and self-hate with other issues in there. You know, we'll get to them. So we're mainly going to be talking about Shrek, a little bit of Donkey in there, a little bit of Donkey. But yeah, Nazir, anything before we get into the clips?
As you see that we're wound up today, folks, we've been just having some fun for the last hour and a half in pre-production. Excited to talk about this. We just randomly landed on Mike Myers, and then we're like, hey, let's do Shrek, because I know it's super famous, and a lot of my neurodivergent clients love it. As one of my students said today, I said, Shrek? Oh, he's autistic as hell. I said, okay. So I will bring this up in the podcast today. So we had a good discussion. So let's get into it. Before we do that, shout out, obviously, I'm going to keep doing it. California, Minneapolis, Jersey. Thank you for listening. New York is now creeping its way up there into the pod, and then Texas is slowly creeping its way up there. So appreciate it. And the link tree. Go in there. If you're a therapist, listen to the pod, which I know a lot of you are now because of our episode that was a smash hit, the shrinking episode. A lot of therapists are coming into the page now. So if you're new to the page and you want your therapist, go check out that previous episode that we did with Dr. Lakeith. But hang out with us today. Look at the resources. Let's do it. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Ooh.
She just can't. You can't give me two, can you? You just can't do it.
Like boop.
Whoop,
It's
whoop.
two whoops.
There it is.
There. We got whoop, whoop.
Shot it.
Hey everyone, before we get into the show, please check out our collaborator, Bubs Naturals. They sell a variety of health and wellness products, including collagen peptides, MCT oil powder, coffee, apple cider vinegar gummies, and other amazing products. Go to bubsnaturals.com and use our code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order. I just ordered their apple cider and vinegar gummies, and I'm excited to try them. If you are looking for a high-quality, all-natural health and wellness product, Bubs Naturals is a great option. The company offers a wide variety of items that are designed to improve overall health and well-being. So go check them out, and remember to use our code DSP20 when you check out. And with that, let's get into the show.
Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna go fight a dragon and rescue a princess just so Farquaad to give you back a swamp, which you only don't have because he filled it full of freaks in the first place. Is that about right?
You know what? Maybe there's a good reason Donkey shouldn't talk.
I don't get it, Shrek. Why don't you just pull some of that ogre stuff on him? You know, throttle him, lay siege to his fortress, grind his bones to make your bread. You know the whole ogre trip.
Oh, I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a pike, got the knife, cut open their spleen and drink their fluids. Does that sound good to you?
No, not really, no.
For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
Example? Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No! Layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers? You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody likes onions. Cake! Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers.
I don't care what everyone likes. Ogres are not like cakes.
You know what else everybody like? Parfaits. Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let's get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
No! You dense, irritating miniature beast of burden! Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later.
Parfaits may be the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet.
You know, I think I preferred your humming.
Do you have a tissue or something? Because I'm making a mess. Just the word parfait made me start slopping.
And, that one. That's Throwback. The only ogre to ever spit over 3 wheat fields.
Right. Yeah. Hey, can you tell my future from these stars?
Well, the stars don't tell the future, Donkey. They tell stories. Look, there's Bloodnut, the flatulent. You can guess what he's famous for.
All right, now I know you're making this up.
No, look. There he is, and there's the group of hunters running away from his stench.
Man, that ain't nothing but a bunch of little dots.
You know, Donkey, sometimes things are more than they appear. Forget it.
Hey, Shrek, what we gonna do when we get out of swamp anyway?
Our swamp?
You know, when we through rescuing the princess and all that stuff.
We? Donkey, there's no we. There's no our. There's just me and my swamp. And the first thing I'm gonna do is build a 10-foot wall around my land.
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep just now. Hey, you know what I think? I think this whole wall thing is just a way to keep somebody out.
No. Do you think?
Are you hiding something?
Never mind, Donkey.
Oh, this is another one of those onion things, isn't it?
No, this is one of those drop it and leave it alone things.
Why don't you want to talk about it?
Why do you want to talk about it?
Why are you blocking?
I'm not blocking.
Oh, yes, you are.
Donkey, I'm warning you.
Who you trying to keep out? Just tell me that, Shrek. Who?
Everyone, okay?
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Hey, what's your problem, Shrek? What you got against the whole world anyway, huh?
Look, I'm not the one with the problem, okay? It's the world that seems to have a problem with me. People take one look at me and go, ah, help, run! A big, stupid, ugly ogre. They judge me before they even know me. That's why I'm better off alone.
You know what? When we met, I didn't think you was just a big, stupid, ugly ogre.
Yeah, I know.
So, are there any donkeys up there?
Well, there's, Gabby. The small and annoying.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah, the big shiny one, right there, right? That one there?
That's the moon.
Oh, okay.
Fare thee well, ogre.
Shrek, what are you doing? You let me get away.
Yeah, so what?
Shrek, there's something about it that you don't know. Look, I talked to her last night.
Yeah,
She's...
I know you talked to her last night. You're great pals, aren't you? Now, if you two are such good friends, why don't you follow her home?
But Shrek, I want to go with you.
Hey, I told you, didn't I? You're not coming home with me. I live alone. My swamp. Me. Nobody else. Understand? Nobody. Especially useless, pathetic, annoying, talking donkeys.
But I thought...
Yeah, you know what? You thought wrong.
Shrek.
All right, and we're back.
We're back and we're live. We're live like a. I can't think of nothing.
He says it's intentional, folks. I don't believe him. I really don't.
No, I
Anytime he
literally
does
couldn't think of nothing.
It's like, see, I didn't have one. But...
I mean, we're live. All I could think of was Cheetos. So, all right, we're live like a Cheeto, like a hot Cheeto.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Spicy.
I don't like hot Cheetos.
Well, first black person to say that.
I didn't want to say it. Me not being black at all on the pod.
Hot sauce. Ew.
That too.
See, told you.
You don't like hot sauce?
I don't eat hot food.
That's just
All
a
right.
sin, really.
Oh, okay.
We've been over this.
All right.
I tried to keep up with my cousins when I was a kid, and I
You
was
couldn't do it?
they're eating it. Let me eat it so I can be cool. No, I was having an asthma attack every time.
Oh, you did tell us that. Yeah, I didn't know it was serious.
Yeah.
You legit die.
Yeah.
Well, at least now I know your weakness.
Damn.
Spicy.
He's gonna try to kill me with spicy food now.
I just gotta put some.
You know I like to eat.
Yeah, I just gotta sprinkle some seasoning on it. You're like,
Crack? Some crack. Some little
Yeah.
bit of crack. Just a little bit of crack.
yeah.
All right, people.
All
So,
right.
crack chicken is a thing. All right, here we go.
Will be.
So, we took a look at 3 scenes. First one being about talking about onions and how you have layers,
Love them.
how ogres have layers. It's deep. They're really deep people. But not really. So they'll just start yelling at you if they piss you off. But yeah. And then kind of going from there, we have a scene where they're looking at stars and Donkey's really pissing him off. And so Donkey's trying to get him to open up and like really dig deep and talk about what's the problem. And he actually does. Shrek actually talks about his problems and what, he's kind of going through.
Onions. He's layered. He's multi-layered.
He's layered. He has so many layers. So many layers. And then, of course, our last scene is where Shrek gets angry at Fiona and really goes off on a tangent. And then Donkey's like, what about our swamp? Like, we're good. Let's go back to our swamp. He's like, no, it's not our swamp. It's my swamp. So now he's really trying to isolate himself away from everybody now. He's finally making sure, since he has his land back, he's going to be by himself now.
Off
And
the
then a
grid.
sad song plays.
Great.
All right. So a little bit of backstory on Shrek, the movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's easy. first of all.
To who?
Yeah. Second of all, Shrek is all about this ogre who lives by himself, who scares everyone that's near him, right? And then all of a sudden, all of these fairy tale creatures get onto his land. A lot of different ones.
Get off my swamp.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And now he's trying to find a way to get them all off his land, so he can finally be by himself. And then he meets Donkey, who's a talking donkey. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm making waffles.
He's a talking ass. That's what my father calls me.
There you go. See, works out well. And so now he has to go to this guy, Lord Farquaad, who put all of these fairy tale creatures on Shrek's land. And Lord Farquaad says, "Hey, you have to bring me back Fiona, who's in a castle guarded by a dragon." Blah blah blah. They go through it. Action ensues, and then now Donkey becomes a lot more French. It's more of a friendship at the end of the movie, right?
Yep.
The whole story is pretty much about how someone who doesn't get happy endings finally gets a happy ending, right?
Well said.
It's pretty much it.
Yep.
What type of happy ending?
Jesus fucking. Oh, let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk about the first scene. What are some things that you really picked up when watching the scene about onions and layers?
Don't you know, Vicky? What type of layers do you have?
That's just Irish.
It's close I got.
Okay. I have Irish. I have some Irish in my blood.
Are you?
You're light skinned.
I do. I'm light skinned. Okay. No, I do like 15%. So someday I will go to Ireland.
Jesus. Oh, you gotta go to Ireland. It's
You'll
gorgeous.
be cussed out racially.
You been?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, you have to tell me more about that trip.
Okay. Side quest right there.
Maybe not on the fucking show. Let's get to it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Christ.
Layers. So, in watching the first scene, Shrek was talking about I'm like an onion, and there's layers. So essentially, we all have like a friend or a family member that's really difficult to, have deep conversations with, or
Spencer.
they don't really emote. And so it's like over time, you get to know that person, and they'll eventually open up.
Yep.
With Shrek, throughout the movie, you get Donkey to get him there, and it's sometimes we have difficult clients that have lots of layers, and they have layers for a reason, because that might be trauma, might be substance abuse, work issues, family issues, you name it. So in therapy, if you can get people to work on those layers, one layer at a time, they can really do a lot of self-reflection, and you can see a lot of growth. So that's what I took from the scene.
Okay.
When Donkey's like, onions, layers, what are you talking about? That's what he's talking about.
Spence, immediately when we talked about Shrek in the post-production a couple weeks ago, last week, we talked about Shrek, and then he immediately was like, let's do the layers. And then me and him talked about the gingerbread, and then you talked about the gingerbread man today. So, right, we'll do that as a reel. So I seen this scene. I was like, well, this obviously is a good scene. Everyone is layered. Everyone is layered. There's different pieces to us that everyone gets to see, and the people that are the closest to you get to see the deeper core foundations of who you are and what you are. They get to see your core thoughts, things that you withhold from everyone. Right, because you don't tell everyone everything. You tell acquaintances a few things, these other people a few things. Was it too loud?
Yeah.
No, I was just turning it up so I can hear better.
Oh, got it. I was like, what is going on? Another edit?
No, I didn't want to reach for my phone. So I was like, I'll just,
No, you're good. I'll have to edit again. This will be a fun one to edit. I'll do this one tomorrow when I'm not at work. So it's these core foundations and layers. As Sheldon Cooper would say, there's there's layers of trust. So you've got your, people that you know at work, then you got your really good friends, then you got like your romantic partner, then you got like, maybe mom and dad, and then you got your doctor. And she's like, doctor's further down than me. He's like, yeah, of course. So like, I'd tell him about, some body issues that are going on. You don't need to know that. And he said, this little tiny dot, that's just my inner thoughts where I keep things from everyone. She's like, you keep secrets from me? It's like, yes. So this layers of trust, it's pretty normal. But he's a multi-layered individual. I enjoy the scene because everyone's going to feel like this. But specifically, I'm not going to therapeutize it too much because I want to ask a follow-up question. I like Donkey in this scene. He's just like a kind of annoying little therapist trying to break down all those layers. But like, what about this? Oh, onions. People don't really like onions though. Like, they smell really bad. They're kind of rotten in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really an onion person. You're more like a cake. You're sweet you give people diabetes because you're so sweet.
Thanks. Be like, wow, I have to take insulin. Thank you. Appreciate that. You're so sweet.
Not fun, by the way.
Medically take insulin every day.
But you're happy, so you make people happy from the sugars. And then he's like, I'm not like cake, damn it. I think that's the therapist trying to change people's minds, their identities, and who they believe that they are. And then you fall into something like they don't really like, so they know, okay, all right, well, fuck it, we'll get rid of the cake. Parfaits. Layered.
Parfaits are delicious.
Everyone likes parfaits.
Not
and
really.
they're healthier. You don't?
God damn it. What do you like? Jesus Christ. Hot Cheetos, no. Spice, no. You're killing me, Smalls.
I like candy. I like candy and
probably some fucking
cakes.
Terrible candy.
I like cake. I love
like
cake.
I love Pop Rocks.
I do. I can't. If I go to someone's wedding, I'm like, "Where's the cake?" If I go to a birthday party,
so now
where's the cake? Like, I like
cake.
the cake.
So the parfait thing wouldn't land on you, but the cake you would be like, "Yeah, I'm like a good cake." There we go. Now we know. I could see me working with clients like Spencer. Spencer, let's be real. If I was your therapist, Spencer, you would be like, "This guy's a psychopath." You would never allow me to therapize you.
I'd probably just be laughing all the
time. Uncomfortably.
No.
Even though he's uncomfortable by his laughter.
Yeah, you'd be like, "No, bro. No."
Okay, psycho.
Yeah. You're like, "I'm not coming back." You're like, that fat dude's in there talking about cake and parfaits.
He just won't stop. He wouldn't stop talking about parfaits. Nobody even makes parfaits anymore.
I know. I think it was at McDonald's for a while. It's like it. You might see it in Kroger.
I think it's still there.
Yeah. I think that was
Chick-fil-A.
Donkey.
All right. Parfait conversation. Move on.
It's done. It's just funny. Donkey is the ADHD therapist. 100%. The neurodivergent therapist like me that likes to go on little side quests and pokes holes in things. I'm like, look. The client's like, what the hell just happened? Perfect. I felt like Donkey in a lot of this show. So I got a question for y'all.
What?
Layers.
Yeah, what about layers?
Do you have them, and would you identify what layered item would you identify as?
It's just a really dumb question because you're laughing through
it. Are you an onion, Spencer? Are you an apple? Are you an orange? Are you a coconut?
Coconut. Yeah, I just have a bunch of white stuff.
I mean, technically, it's white meat,
Yep.
It's not actually white meat because I'm pretty sure all the meat inside is like red. I love this podcast today. I needed this. Bear with me. This would be a good icebreaker. If you were a food-like substance or any substance, Spencer's like, I called you Colin. Spencer's like, I'm a grenade.
Eat me. Just blow your head off.
I hope you die. So metaphorically, if you were something, what would it be? And if you do have layers, what technically would they be? We've technically been over this a little bit before, me and Spencer, and how we're like judging and assessing, but I want you two just to talk about it real quick, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vic.
If I were a food item.
Yeah, I mean, you can go grenade if you want to, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would say medium well steak.
Okay.
Why?
A little seared.
The outside layers are a little tough.
Brown.
You know, a little seared, you know, a little dark, toughen up.
Crispy.
And when you get to those inner layers, it's kind of, you know, soft, moist. You know, it's like, I knew you were going to do that. So it's like, I have this persona. A lot of people, when they first meet me,
I love this. No, you're fine. I like this. And then you're like, you know, you're red, you're gushy inside.
As soon as I said the M word, I was like, I know you guys are going to lose your shit.
No.
M word. Don't be right. Don't.
Oh my God. So no,
I'm
you're
edit so many parts.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get to all the edits. I'll do my best. But no, I get it, right? You're a bleeding heart on the inside, very soft, cuddly, juicy. Just want to rip into it. No.
Once you get to know me, though, a lot of people, when they first meet me, they feel intimidated. Like I don't know what it is about me, but a lot of people that don't know me, when they first meet me, they're like intimidated by me, and I'm just like,
I think you're more stoic.
RBF really bad or what? But once you get to know me, it's like, oh, she's pretty cool and chill to hang out with. And it's like, yeah, I kind of just do my own thing, and I don't really follow the crowd. I'm the lone wolf or the black sheep. That's who I am. But once you get to know me, then you're like, oh, I like her. So that's why I said a medium well steak.
There you go. And a good one. Porterhouse. Ribeye.
Yep.
In all seriousness, you are a little bit more reserved. You're a little bit more stoic. You also like to ask specific questions. I think, and with not a lot of emotion to it, they're just like normal questions, just kind questions. But I think some people will be intimidated by that because they're not expecting that. They're expecting small talk. But you're not like a small talk person. You're like, I want to actually get to know this human and who the hell's in front of me. If you are in front of me, we're going to make this worthwhile. That's how you come off, as inquisitive and interested. But for other people, they get really nervous and scared, and I think they might scare them off. Not to mention, I mean, there is a bias with people with black women, so I would assume that's a thing as well. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I vibe with it. I mean, I'm hungry as hell, but you know, I vibe with it.
My parfaits and cakes and shit.
Yep. Cakes and pies. Spence, bear with the metaphor, because I would do this in group therapy for sure, and it would be hilarious.
Fair enough. It'd be like a burger or something, right? Because I can just, it's layers, but you know, it's going downwards, and you can customize it, change it to whatever you want. I'm just so goddamn delicious.
Yeah. So that actually is somewhat of a neurodivergent trait as well, right? You can customize your layers based on the individuals that you're in front of. And based on what you're seeing, how you're reading the situation, right? Because with some folks, I've seen Spence lock up and like you ain't getting shit out of him. I've seen it where he's bubbly and talking shit. It just depends. I've seen it where you're engaging. I've seen it sometimes where you're just assessing. Valid. Burger, customizable. Isn't it Burger King when it says make it your way?
Yep.
I think so.
Think so. Shout out to Burger King.
Yeah. New sponsor for the podcast. Let's talk mental health. Burger King.
Burger King. Burger King. Are you autistic?
Customize.
We got a burger for you.
We got a burger for you. We're going to sell this burger as the autistic burger.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's not going to go over well at all.
Nope. Like sued.
Sued. It'll be like the vaccine myth where everyone's like, this vaccine gave me autism. It's like, that's not how it works. Yes. All right. So you be a burger. All right.
Yeah. What would you be in his ear?
I've had a lot of people say like extreme hard outer shells. I've had someone, here's the funniest one. They said a burnt marshmallow.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, because it's like kind of nasty looking, right? Obviously all charred and burnt, but it's like super gooey on the inside and like tastes really awesome. And you're like, this is really good. And then immediately, and I was like, have you ever seen the Anakin Skywalker meme where 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 he's burning in the vat at the end, but technically it's a marshmallow, and he's like, "You were supposed to be the chosen one," and the marshmallow's just lit on fire.
I hate you.
I hate you. And their neurodivergent self was just like, "I've never seen that, so I'm not going to laugh." And I was like, "Well, fuck you." Um, Yeah, I like the burnt marshmallow thing. The reason why I brought this up is a couple different reasons, and we'll transition to the next scene. Okay. A bunch of my coworkers always identify me as like a big teddy bear. Like they said it last week at a hangout. You're like, oh, you're like this big teddy bear. And multiple people said that. And we had a few conversations, and they were speaking about some kind of sus things. Like if they were to like create some, do some felonies or misdemeanors, like what would they get in trouble for? So it was like an icebreaker. And a bunch of them said a few things, and I looked at a few people, and I was like, I can help you out with those couple things that you said if you actually want to do it. And she was like,
and they were like, what?
I was like, now that I know that you want to be like an art gallery thief, like I know that's what you want to do. So I'm going to hide my like finger paintings in the house from you, you little shit. Like I still got the turkey from like second grade up there, the hand turkey. I saw you looking at it, girl. But they always see me as this teddy bear, which is interesting because they actually know me. Thus, they get to see the gooey parts, the part that isn't burnt from the steak, right? They get to see some of the real value if it is a Whopper, where other people see like the scary entity. And I feel like me and Shrek share that of being large individuals. I think, Vic, you talked about like, him having like this identity of what black folk go through. Specifically, you're talking about like black men. And so how that could be something like in the scene where they feel like they're identified as always this ugly, nasty thing. So we're going to talk about that in the next scene. So that's what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Side quest for the people. Because today I was watching this at work. And so a client came in after I was watching it, or in the middle of watching it. And I said, yeah, I was just watching Shrek. And they're like, oh, he's definitely autistic. And I was like, why do you say that? He just wants to be alone. He doesn't want to be bothered by anyone. He just wants his peace and his quiet. And then all you little fuckers start coming into his forest, and now he's got desensitized, and right, he's got to get used to all you, and he just wants to be at peace. I said, yeah, I mean, that's a vibe for a lot of folks that are neurodivergent. She said, and this was the funniest thing, I just can't stand how dirty his house was. I was like, he literally showers in mud. I know, I can't believe it.
Brushes his teeth with like bugs.
It was like a bug juice or a pure bug. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like bug juice. Yeah.
Yeah. He like squeezed a bug and something green came out. And I was just like, I thought it was a very funny side quest to bring up. How the student reacted to it and identified as Shrek. And yet also thought he was disgusting. It was very funny. Okay. Spence.
Yes.
What are we doing for scene 2?
So for scene 2, it was all about, like I said in the beginning, it was all about stars, right? They were looking, Donkey and Shrek were looking up at stars, reminiscing, talking. Shrek was pointing out all the different constellations in the sky. And Donkey just wasn't getting it. He was like, what are you talking about? There's nothing up there. There's just like dots. Like, what do you mean? And then they kind of get into how Shrek wants to just be alone and keep everyone out because they just don't understand me. They don't understand. But yeah. So in that, talking about just isolating himself overall, and he's actually opening up to Donkey, and so that's what I think that's a big thing that Nas has been talking about, is that Donkey is kind of like Shrek's therapist, just nudging until he finally opens up And yes, just everyone, okay? Jeez.
Yeah, it's an intense scene. It's like an emotional breakthrough scene in therapy.
Mm.
Yeah, it is. That's when you're like, oh, this is it. This is the breakthrough moment that we've been working through. Vic. So in the very end there, he goes, everyone sees me as this monster. When he looks up at him. But I didn't see you like that when I first met you. He's like, I know, Donkey. I know. What'd you think about that little part right there? Just that part where he meets someone that seeing him as just a normal, good person.
Just validation that, I'm not this big, ugly ogre that people, make me out to be or stereotype me to be. It's like, you just see me as a person. You don't see me for all the exterior qualities that people make me out to be that come along with that. So it's, it's validating if you have someone, a friend or family member or a therapist that can actually see you for who you are outside of, whoever you mingle with at work or your family.
Misconceptions.
And they can, you could just be you and just be seen for you as a good person versus, all these different claims or how people are portrayed to be or how they act. So I think that was a really good moment for Shrek. Like, he started off not having a friend, and now he has a friend that sees him for the true person that he is.
I wish that scene for everyone. Me and Spence just did a podcast on Arnold, and at the end there it talks about like his best friend that died. And he said, I truly wish all of you get a really good friend like that to experience life with. And then Spence talked about like how he's had a lot of people invested in him to get to where he's been. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think it's pretty cool for someone to finally get a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met so many students in the last few years. And it wasn't a thing when I had met Spencer and we're at St. Mary's. People were still pretty like close. But now with the social media, you see it getting further and further away of just social ineptitude. Lack of friends, maybe one or two, maybe on just video games. And then COVID hit. And so you're just seeing a lot of isolation. And it's a good majority of my job is working on social skills now. And whether they're neurodivergent or not, it's about just literally just talking and public speaking and creating a connection. It's even the dating stuff. It's just all gotten so difficult in the last few years. And I think all therapists, specifically in this age range, high school and higher ed, will notice that the social anxiety and phobias, the stereotypes and myths, it's polluting everyone. You're talking about eating disorders and body dysmorphia among women and men now. It's been so exacerbated. It's horrific. People literally can't function outside without hating everything. There's the singer right now that's out. There's a lot of publicity going about her. Forgive me, I think I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. It's that Billie Eilish. Is it Eilish or Eilish or Ellie or
Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish. So a lot of people like talk about crap about her body. Right? She used to be thin. Now she's gained a little bit of weight. And so they say a lot of stuff about her body. And today or recently she said in a podcast, she's like, I'm glad I didn't grow up in this day and age with all the social media, because she's a little bit older. She's like, I would have been horrible. I would have had an eating disorder for sure to be thin. And the studies are showing that. I just posted some stuff on our LinkedIn the other day about the eating disorders among young women, and because of social media, it's horrific. So there's that route, which social media is polluting a lot of things and making you believe certain things. And then there's also, just like we talked about, some racial issues and how we see big dudes or big people in general. You may see someone like who's obese like him as disgusting, gross, lazy, they're unhealthy, things like that. Let's just go on the big stuff. You may see a dude that's super jacked or swole and be like, oh, he's probably stupid or on steroids. You make up all these preconceived things about people that are large. Specifically, probably unhealthy related things that, like, if you look at an individual that's large, like Shrek, and you get a little ick, like, ugh, it's kind of gross. You need to start thinking about your own internal mechanisms and what you think about like larger folks, obesity, fat phobia, and stuff like that. I'm not advocating for everyone being large. I'm just saying that if you look at it with an ick at other people, then I guarantee you look at yourself like that. If you gain 1 or 2 pounds, if you're ashamed of being, 160 instead of 140. It's a lot of stuff that goes into being large that's terrifying. And so I'm glad that we watched Shrek because it goes into a lot of body dysmorphia, plus the racism that he goes through for being an ogre, because it is about race in origin. It's a lot of metaphorical things there. I'm glad that he met Donkey. And I won't use the word pray. I really hope that many of you listening to the podcast can find people that you relate to and that just kind of love you, and I don't care who they are. And I tell a lot of my clients, and some of you may get a little offended to this, I say, what you need is some big people in your life, and they always laugh. I say, because homie, we just want to chill, eat. We ain't playing no fucking games. Like, we're just the nicest people there is. We know what it's to be bullied and to be shamed about things. We're usually not trying to hurt anyone. Are there some shitty people out there that are probably big? Yes. I said, what you need is you need a big dude in your life. Just wants to eat and lift. Eat and play video games. They're not gonna do a lot of harming. And all jokes aside, I hope that you folks find good people like Donkey to pull you out of that shitter. But remember, it's not their job to pull you out of that shitter, but hopefully they can give you a little bit of light to want to exist, to be like the real you. And then you need to do the work on your own. I'm going to bring attention to one thing that me and Spence fell upon at the end of the last pod. We're ending the pods from now on, long as we can always remember, because we're both ADHD as shit. Is I'm going to say much love and goodbye and take care of yourself. Spencer's going to say, or don't. And then I'm going to say, that's up to you. It's up to you, folks. So if you meet some good people, remember, do your best to also take control of your life and to make things better as well. Put yourself in front of good people and start reaching out. I didn't plan on going on to social anxiety and phobias and all these things, but it just worked out really good to talk about it. Because that's what Shrek's going through. He fucking hates literally everything about himself because the world has told him to hate yourself. Mm-hmm. Much like a lot of marginalized identities that are LGBTQ, right, that are queer, that are neurodivergent, that are weird or awkward, that are black and brown bodies, is that you're gross. And that fucking sucks to feel that way. I know I felt that way many of times. And then I realized that I thought people that looked like me were gross. So I was like, fuck, if I think they're gross, then I hate myself. And maybe I thought about it too much. Like Arnold was saying, just stay busy. But I was like, no, this was, I've got a lot of Eurocentric ways I think about my body and identities and what being attractive is. So I related with Shrek as the real me, as one of the layers, but I related to Donkey as the older me, the wise therapist that's also a fucking idiot. Sorry to swear. Spence. Serious question, but funny. Mm-hmm. I need you to be legit honest, and you can talk as much stuff if you want. Try to withhold from a ton of swearing. Do I come off like Donkey to you? Do I ever get like, shut up? And then you're like,
yeah, I've told you to shut up like during the show. What are you talking about? I wasn't gonna be like, oh no, you're so quiet. No,
you're like
you're annoying.
You're like a medium well steak, a medium rare steak.
Medium.
Isn't that what she said?
Like, look, you have your moments of where you just go on like a rant of like the same shit over and over again, and just it's just like, shut up, dude, just shut up. And you're like, okay. You're not like Doc. Sometimes you do keep going, then other days you're just like, okay, fine. Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of like a running joke I have with Dom, where I'm just like, anytime I'm like, why don't you just shut your face? She's like, no. And I was like, okay, cool, fine, yeah, fair enough.
To be fair, some of us need that redirection. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm down with that too. It's like sometimes I obviously can go on rants where I'm just like constantly trying to like joke, and then sometimes I really need somebody to go like, all right, moving on. I'm like, okay, I guess.
How's it feel on the podcast when me and Vic get wound up, and then you're like the man of sanity in the room? You're like, what are we doing?
Like, all right, break.
Yeah, I have to be the one that tells people, all right, moving on.
Is that like a weird feeling for you, or do you just like assume?
Feels like I'm being bossy, but at the same time, I know that we have to stick.
We've got material to get to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's one of the things, right? Is that it does feel weird sometimes being like the guy that's like has to really maneuver the show, just really steer it in the right direction. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like have to do it because, and I know I'll do the same thing of where it's like I'll go on like a tangent or something. Tell myself like, all right, well, gotta get through this stuff in less than like 3 hours. So.
I bring this up because Donkey is also like a neurodivergent individual, if you think about it in a way of being just going and running and ranting. So I hung out at this thing the other day and I saw like one person's eyes glass over and I'm like, I'm talking too much, aren't I? Yeah, I did it. I did that thing again where I talk a lot and then you're laughing, but you're not really laughing. I'm like, you're dead inside, aren't you? And then she just walked away. I'm like, yep, I definitely wore her out.
Wow.
Got it. But that's kind of the thing, though. It's like, you find it like in the middle because it's like either you're not going to talk at all.
Yep.
And nothing will be said, or you'll talk too much and, people think that you're just like a chatterbox. So it's like either way, it's like, and that's where the kind of self-editing really helps. Because then you can be like, I'm just going off on like a tangent that doesn't mean anything and it's not really getting a reaction or anything like that. I'm just going to stop it here. I'm just going to stop it. So yeah.
It's a weird, you're looking for a lot of facial expressions and you also have like a timer in your head. Like, I need to shut up. So the rest of the hangout with all these people from work, I was like, let me just chill and ask questions and like let everyone else talk. Cause there's a lot of women that are therapists, right? And so there's only a couple dudes. And if I'm the dude just being a chatterbox, I don't want to be that dude.
Oh my God, this guy won't shut up.
Yeah. Fucking masculinity here, just talking away.
Oh man, thinks he can talk over me as you talk over me.
Okay, so it could be seen the other way then, though.
Go ahead.
So when I do intake, so I tell people like, oh, this isn't a therapy session. And when I ask a closed-end question and they're like, oh, yeah. And then there's a lot of verbiage behind, I'm like, I'll let them kind of get it out, kind of rant a little bit. And I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, at some point I'm going to have to interject and
back on track.
Right back on the track. So it's like, you let people do it for a little bit. Then you're like, let's really get back in. Let's focus. So I totally get it.
Yeah, it's a thing. So you and Spence get it, and then any therapist knows that sometimes you get your clients that are a little bit more wound up, more anxious. They just need to vent. They're more ADHD and like the tangents, and they don't even make eye contact. It's not like a neurodivergent thing. They're just out in their own realm. They don't even know that you exist in the room. I'm like,
yep,
sweetheart, let's backtrack. The one thing.
They're having like a manic episode.
Yep.
And you're just like, yep, this is gonna be a fun one.
Yep. This is going to be, we're going for a ride.
Yeah.
Buckle in. Anyone got my backup cocaine? Because I need some energy for this one.
Where's the regular cocaine?
I already used that at 8:30 in the morning to get to the intake. Yeah.
Just in your coffee.
That's like, gone. Yeah. It's like my funny story. If I don't have anyone in my office at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I would literally eat my lunch at like 9:30 because I'm like, I'm bored. I'll just eat my lunch. And I'm like, fuck,
what?
I did it again.
Read a book.
Or just do paperwork, check email. No, it's just sit. I can feel my food mocking me like Donkey. You want it?
Wait, you have paperwork?
Oh, I mean, I've got notes to do and stuff at work. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I have to do notes on the sessions.
Hey.
Shame on you for not getting it done the same day.
I know. No, I don't.
No, I'm kidding.
Almost people procrastinate. But yeah, the food is just sitting there like Spencer's like, come on, you know you want it. You know you.
Oh, you want me? Eat me.
You know you want it.
It's just
Bring
like the
snacks.
burgers and Good Burger.
I've got the
Are you not
fruit
eating
on.
breakfast?
I got the fruit on the bottom. You know where it's at.
Well, another parfait one.
Yeah, I figured
So many
you.
delicious parfaits.
Therapist. We'll have to restructure people like Donkey. I also thought neurodivergent folks could relate to it. I remember specifically being on a date where a person was like, you literally just talked about you at work and like how much you love your job for like 2 hours. It's like, no, I didn't. You said like 2 things. Like, come on.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't
the order, Nas. I was
It was
ordering
the order.
food.
Yeah. Hey, whatever. They asked me a question, so I answered it. It just went on for a while. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Speak up. You know, if you got some shit to say something.
Yeah. Why don't you woman
This
up
is my
and say
session.
something?
Yeah, woman up. I just got done listening to like 6 adolescents like cry about their trauma. You're gonna hear about them and me and like me hating them and they hating me. We're gonna learn about this.
And then we might have a conversation at the end of this. Maybe.
Yeah. And then I'll let you smell my face.
Don't do it.
I'm
Oh,
not.
there you go.
I didn't go too weird. Yeah.
It's not weird at
Vic's
all.
just like, God damn it.
I'm like, here we go. Down
Here we
the
go.
rabbit
No,
hole.
I landed it. Yeah, I was PC. Okay. Let's dive into scene 3. And looks like we're doing pretty good on time. So scene 3.
Pretty good on time. Yeah. 'Cause we were ranked. There's so much editing to do.
I
This.
know.
Okay. Scene 3. So to back up a little bit, it's Fiona actually is an ogre. She turns into one at night, and so
It's a thirst
she's
trap.
having.
Sorry.
That's how they get you. I'm definitely getting this white woman, Shrek.
Yeah. As soon as you get married to him, I tell you.
Gotcha, bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I just snorted.
Got him all right. So now she was having a conversation with Donkey, and talking about how anyone could love like a monster like her, right? She was talking about herself, and then Shrek was eavesdropping and thought that she was talking about him, right? And so he gets pissy, and then he goes off, brings back Lord Farquaad so that then they can get married and lift the curse. The curse. And so yeah, and then Shrek is walking back, and then Donkey's like, come on, man, you can't let her go. All right, let's go back to our swamp. And he's like, no, you're not gonna do that. And then they have a big argument, and it just really kind of goes to show is like Shrek thought he could like trust both of these people, Donkey, Fiona, and by his own kind of, accidentally eavesdropping on them and thinking that they were talking about him. Now he's really isolating himself again because he's hurt. He's a hurt boy. So yeah, that was pretty much the same.
Sad boy vibes.
Sad.
Yeah.
Cute sad song.
Yeah. And because it was sad song came after that. Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah.
I chose this scene because I feel like it's a good story arc. Starts out curmudgeon-y, emotional breakthrough in therapy, and then like the downfall. So it's a really good storyline for like any movie. But specifically, I felt like I wanted to cry. I didn't because I was at work, but I wanted to cry because how hurt Donkey was. And he just like ears go down like a dog being yelled at, and it's just like, what did I do wrong? So we're just not friends anymore. That Shrek was in so much pain that he hurt Donkey as much as he could in that moment. So it made me think of hurt people hurt others.
I was gonna say that.
Yep. It made me think of couples counseling, and when you're hurting, you're hurting your partner. You could be hurting your kids mentally, physically, emotionally. People that are happy and like life is going well, you're not doing shit like that. You're not lashing out like that. I was talking to some humans in couples therapy, and I said, "So you were hurt?" And they're like, "No, I wasn't. I was angry." Yes, you were angry, but you were hurt first. You thought that everyone was gaining or messing with you, playing this board game with your friends and your partner, and then you blew up on your partner because they're trying to sabotage you. But everyone told you that's the game, is to make the winner of the last one lose. You were the winner of the last game, and thus they all attacked you, but you blew up and made a scene. And you pointed fingers at your partner because you think that they have something against you, when they don't. It's completely delusional. But it digs at some deeper insecurities and them being hurt, and then they blow up. Most of us that are angry are hurt about something. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm sad. Just like, oh, fuck you, man. Like, that was hurtful. That was mean. That was wrong. That was derogatory. That was oppressive. That wasn't good or nice to say. And he lashes out, and he hurts probably the only person that's ever really liked him for him, that only really loved him for him. Friendship love, right? Platonic love, which I think sometimes is even more pure and innocent than even romantic love, because there's nothing that you want from that person's body. You just want to like hang out and eat pizza. Like, I guess that's my part of like a friendship. Yeah. I can't even eat pizza anymore.
This is not a real friendship, is it? No.
Yeah, no. If I can't eat pizza with you, if we can't eat Chinese food together, then we are not friends.
And some people make it jealous that other people are eating Chinese food with you.
I'm telling you, people have said that. Yeah. Like, why you be hanging out with Spencer?
I was there.
Yeah. And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You made things weird. I have friends. You are someone that I know. You are not a good friend. Vic's like, wait a minute, I ain't ate Chinese food with you. I've only seen you in person like 3 times in like 20 years.
Like,
calm down.
I'm just chopped liver over here.
Yeah. She like,
I was eating Chinese food like it was great. Nothing.
Yeah. I promise you, we will go get Chinese. Here, when I go to Detroit, whatever Chinese restaurant you want to pick, we're going to it.
I hope to God that doesn't happen.
All right.
Just so I can laugh.
He's like, yeah, we went to Chick-fil-A. Spencer's like, yeah, no, he's not your friend.
Yeah, no. You didn't even sit down to eat. Y'all were in separate cars.
Yeah. He's like, Spence will be like, so did he order, Spence knows this, did he order like 18 egg rolls? If he didn't order 18 egg rolls, he's not your friend.
So many egg rolls.
Because I remember that one time I ordered them, and then the waitress was like, are these for here to go? It's like, why would they be for here?
Like, damn, eating all 18 of them by yourself right now?
I said, I'm taking these back home to family. She goes, sure.
Yeah, she did not.
Oh, did she really say that?
Yes.
She did not believe you.
She just smiles. She's like, oh, it's okay, fat man. It's okay.
Yeah, sure you are. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Lucky she didn't call me an ogre. Fucker. I felt like Kung Fu Panda just shoving the dumplings in. Yeah.
Why are you always the fat kid?
Because I'm fat. I'm always fat because everyone I love is fat.
We talked about body shaming.
No, I mean, I'm not shaming fat. I just enjoy the fat characters. The picture behind me, the metaphorical picture behind me, is a little chubby fat panda. Like, it's the Winnie the Pooh that's next to me is very fat that his shirt doesn't cover his belly.
Oh, I love some honey.
Yeah, I love my fat people, man.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We just started. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't talk about parfaits no more.
Did someone say steak? No, mistake. Oh, you got me excited.
Seared mistake.
Seared. But yeah, so I went on my little spiel, and I'm sure a lot of folks that are neurodivergent will relate to Shrek and relate to some of these feelings, push people away. As my client today that we were talking about Shrek, and they said I could talk about a few of these things. I said, you're confusing, and you're like Shrek in these ways that you want people, but you don't want people because all the anxiety that it brings and extra variables, and you can't calculate for everything, but you want community. I said, paint me the perfect picture in your life. And she literally broke down a bunch of things that was the resemblance of community and having like a legit, almost like a shared garden with each other and all this stuff and like a subdivision. And it was like quite wonderful. But I'm like, but you don't like people. But like, I could grow to like them. And it was just so interesting. I said, you like Shrek. So I wonder who your donkey will be. She's like, do I need to make more friends? I was like, do you have the energy to make more friends? No. I said, there's your answer. I was like, therapy's good enough for now. She's like, yeah, therapy's good enough for now. This is enough talking for the week. I was like, all right. So you knuckleheads. Because I'm trying to get things to be more personal at times.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? You hungry?
A little bit.
When was the last time that you got super curmudgeon-y and you're just like, fuck, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm done. Like, just leave me alone. I need 1 or 2 weeks. And I know Spence, it happened on the podcast a little bit ago. Me and Vic were like, hey man, you good? I'm like, hey, bro, are you good, bro?
I get in my moods.
Yeah, I was like, do I say something? I don't want to say something. He explodes.
You would have cut her? I taught you too well. You talking about cutting people now? What the fuck?
Fine cutting.
Like a good steak.
Just like,
there it is.
Jesus.
I want you to talk about maybe the last time. You don't have to talk about the details, but you can if you want to, either one of you. But when was the last time you just like kind of like you could feel yourself isolating? And how long did it take you to get out of that? Did it take a week, months? I know, Vic, you've been through a lot of things. Me and Spence were talking about it recently on how long you've been on the pod with us. And we remembered that, things were weird for a while.
Oh, yeah. The timeline from when I first started to now.
And I mean, now we've talked about you're just like, I mean, you're laughing and having fun. Like you're legit, and you're the one stirring the pot now these days. Something to notice. All I could think of is chili. I am so fat.
Jesus.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Please answer the question, Vic. So
It's
Vic,
summertime, and you want chili?
If you're friends with Colin, that's all you eat is chili. And Dwight
Turkey chili or beef?
He makes all types of chili.
Oh my fucking God!
Answer the question.
There's a difference.
We don't
was
need the
Some of our clients are going to be like, "This is good." When was the last time you isolated, and then how long did it take you to get out of that funk?
I would probably have to say probably the fall. So fall through March, because that was a tough time. Going through a divorce, selling my house, unsupportive spouse, cancer diagnosis, very limited supports, having to commute my kids 45 minutes to school, go to work, go to treatment, manage personal life. So really kind of testing people's boundaries, like who's really there for me when it comes to like family and friends. And now through the thick of it all, where I'm at now in my life, it's like, okay, I know who my people are. I know who I trust. I know who I have my kids around, not to have them around. So I would say the fall through March. That was a time I was just kind of like, I'm going to just get in my shell, because I shared these are the things I'm going through, but I'm not getting a lot of feedback from people. I'm not getting the support that I thought I would get. And I have a teammate who's, she just got diagnosed a few weeks ago.
Oh, geez.
And I told her, I said, based on my experience, it's up to you if you want to disclose that to the world or if you want to know. And I told I gave her my spiel. Like, I told people, and I felt like it was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. So what? So, and then some people were reactive to it and some people were not. So I said, it's kind of up to you, but you have my support. Anytime you need to talk or you have questions, let me know. And I told my first cousin the same thing, because she went through a divorce and her ex-spouse is a complete asshole. Worse than my ex, like
Jesus.
demeaning.
Oh no.
And they have a shared 7-year-old. And I'm just like, I said, find your people. But you got to have boundaries and set some limitations. So I would say during the fall till mid-spring, I went through that period of like, I'm going to be reclusive, and if people are really there for me, they'll reach out and they'll be there for me. So I would say that would be the time frame when I was just kind of like, let me fall back, let me kind of do some self-reflection and some cognitive reframing, throw some meditation in there, some prayer, get myself back on track. That's what I got to do.
Can you tell that your mood is exponentially changed in the last few months?
Yes. Especially when I did like some cancer screenings, and then they're like, oh, you don't have any genetic predispositions. Sorry, not the right word. For other cancers. So the type that I have is like, I don't know, stress induced or something, environmental. So it's like, I don't have the genetic factors for these other things, but the type that I have was not genetic based. So then I started thinking back, like, okay, so in 2020, that was a very stressful time in my life, in ex-marriage, had shingles, I had a tumor in my tongue,
Jesus.
had surgery on something else. And I'm just like, that marriage was literally killing me. It was killing me. So
it's like a symbiote.
I feel like I'm a testimony for people that are going through tough times. And I'm like, hey, if you can make it work and both people are willing to go to therapy and make shit happen and on the same page, great. But if it's not, and you see these red flags and these signs and things going on, and you guys know some more of the more intimate details that I'm not going to disclose.
Nope, you don't need to. Yep.
But if both parties are willing to make things work, then that's great. But you can't have one person doing all the work and the other person's just like, I'll pacify you with what I want you to know and hear, but I'm going to just continue to BS. So for those of you that are married, stick in there, make it work, because marriage is work. It's not like a fairy tale, like, oh, this shit is so wonderful. Like, you're going to have ups and downs in any relationship, whether you're married or not. It's working through it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad that you spoke on some of those things, and sorry to put you on the spot, but I know you're very open. I was actually talking to Pops about this the other day. So one thing I appreciate with Vic is you always know what you're getting. And she's not scared of anything. And you can handle me and Spencer's like wildest stuff. And you're unfazed. You laugh and you're unfazed. And you always know what you're getting, and it's always authentic. And you never have to guess what they're thinking, or it's never an act. Where some of the other people that we've spoken to or that we know as friends or coworkers, you're like, I don't know. Even one of my favorite humans, Serena, that's on the podcast, she's got the face that she puts on, then she's got, a little devil too. I've always appreciated that about you. And I think many others are intimidated by that, as what you said. They see you as maybe like a Fiona, where it's like, I don't know, you're still an ogre. It's like, no, I'm a good person. Yep. I don't know how it came up, but me and Pop were going grocery shopping, and then you came up. And then I said that me and Spence were talking about you. And I said, she's changed so much. And she's just so happy. And I said, I'm happy for her. She deserves to be happy instead of that fucking bullshit that she was dealing with. So I'm glad that you talked about that. Hopefully other people will listen to Vic. And if she can do it, then others can do it. You just got to get the right people in your corner. You got to find your donkey.
Yep. We're donkeys.
Donkeys. You got to find some really good asses.
You beat me to it. Damn
okay.
Oh, I'm glad both of you really going for the same joke there.
Same. Vic, you're appreciated, and I love having you on the podcast, and it's an honor to know you. You should know that. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
And I think that
Get out.
Yeah. Now leave. This is enough. We need to man it up now.
Yeah, we want balls here.
I got bald. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well,
Calm down now. My voice is
Let me
deep.
stop.
Damn.
yeah.
Hey.
See, we. Jesus.
I got a deep voice.
No, it's very
Oh,
feminine.
shit.
I just was watching The Last of Us. He's like, "You're like my daughter, but you're just, you're not as feminine." He's like, "I don't mean anything bad by it." She's like, "No, I'm not feminine."
Yeah.
It's funny. He like tears her
Killing
down.
zombies knife by knife. Like,
Yeah. Spence,
yeah.
last time you think you were self-isolating, kind of in the muck.
It's usually when after I'm like I get home from hanging out with like Dom for like a couple days or something, and then once I get back home, kind of just get very isolated. I don't know why it is, but like, I mean, I would say probably mostly because like my sister still lives here and don't really get along with her, and so I just know that I'm gonna just have to hear her voice, and I get like that just so quick. I get annoyed, and so usually it's when because with Dom, it's very carefree. Just it's very easy to hang out with her. Don't have to worry about anything. Just us in the moment, and it's great. But then once I come back here, it's kind of just like I'm out of that moment. I'm out of that
Back to reality.
that mode. Yeah, and then maybe I'm not sure yet. Maybe it's just I just have like a lot of energy when I'm with her, and it's just like it's great. It's fine. I get to just talk and hang out with somebody, goof around for like days, hours, whatever. And so I don't know. Once I get back home, it's kind of just like I need like a day or two to kind of get out of like a funk that I'm in, and then I'm back to normal. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So without like therapizing you,
Right.
so I want to do that. But I've had clients that report things like this with relationships all the time, specifically if they're like a little bit long distancy, not like days away, but they'll be with their partner. It's super fun. It's energetic. They get to be with the person that they love, and that brings them comfort, energy, laughter, all of it. You're eating food. It's a blast. And then you have to leave and go back home. And it's always a little bit of grief, a little bit of depression, a little bit of sadness. So that's one thing with couples that you'll see. I'll see a lot with my neurodivergent people. They're with the person that brings them joy, and then they go around to everyone else that kind of like saps it out of them. And so they're a little depressed that they have to be around them, and then put on that show again and put on their...
Right.
I was watching the show Beef, this season 2, which we're going to do a clip on. And the one dude puts on a suit, and he said, it feels like armor. I'm not gonna lie, when I put on a suit, it does feel like armor. Feels like you just feel really good, very attractive.
Right.
And then you have to put back on your suit of armor when you go home, right? It's back to that reality. And then you get like habituated to it. Okay, and now you're good. So it could be multiple different things that are going on with your mood.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our clients will relate to that. Relationships, friendships, when they're around some of their neurodivergent individuals, or if they're neurotypical, just around some of their good friends. And then they got to go back to work. Here's a very good example. The weekend. And then you got fucking Monday. Garfield moment. I was so exhausted. Today was not a hard day. And I was so exhausted that I had to like do stuff in the office. And I literally felt like shit, came home, fell asleep. And I woke up just before this. My dad's like, you lazy sack of taters. Mondays, man. This guy just kind of curmudgeon-y on Mondays.
See, that's like, I don't know, I guess Sundays are my curmudgeon days. Which is great because we record on Sundays. So
well, it's the anticipation, like, oh shit, the weekend's almost over. Reality's going to be setting in soon. And it's like you can't even be in the moment to enjoy the actual day because you're dreading the following week to come.
There you go.
I have people bring that up all the time. Is now they get anxious because they have to prepare and they got a bunch of shit to do, right? Because Friday was their blow off night, and then Saturday they get to have a little bit of fun or go shopping, And then Sunday, now they have to prep for the week. Mentally, cognitively, emotionally, especially my neurodivergent individuals, right? And especially if you're in school, Sunday's a grind day. If you're in school, that's a grind day because you got to get everything done for Monday that you put off because you're supposed to do it Friday night, but you didn't. Instead, you got pizza and then you got Chinese food with your fat friend on Saturday.
Jesus Christ, man. This is the food podcast.
Well, hey, I thought that was that poster. I picked that poster behind Vicky because I thought it was the food guy. The what was his name?
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. I almost said Bam Margera.
Wow, the food guy who rides a skateboard.
He was also a drug addict. Sorry. ADHD moment there. But it's a vibe. I would also say a lot of my neurodivergent individuals would say about just being tired. So even though it was all love and good vibes, they're done. I mean, that's a good amount of energy. And so my human today, they were talking about Shrek. I was in this funk and I thought maybe I need to socialize more. And so they went and socialized and like, that didn't make me feel any better. I'm like, no, I don't think you needed to socialize more. And so then we started methodically breaking down what was going on and they were overstimulated from like these other things that were impending doom in their mind. So I helped therapize and untangle some of these webs, gassed them up in their confidence for what they had to do, settled some of their issues with being overstimulated and crying and the shame, and they were good. They're like, oh shit, I'm ready to tackle the world. I got another week's worth of energy, and then I'll see you next week, a hot-ass mess. I'm like, I got your back. She's privileged enough to where she'll make good money, and she'll be able to have a therapist if she wants one. Which is also a stigma, because some people are like, well, I'm going to have a therapist forever? Who cares? Fuck it. You got to do it to be happy and to be in a good relationship or to love people, then I guess that's what we got to do. So.
And I think that's something we need to start integrating when it comes to mental health. Like, I don't know when this began, but how it became separate from general health, but going to therapy should just be normalized in general. I mean, go to the doctor for a wellness check. Why can't you go to therapy for the same?
I 100% agree. 100% agree. I just talked to Spence on the podcast yesterday for Lord of the Rings, and I think I want to make a shirt that says therapist on the back. And then DSP spectrums, like a little small logo on the chest, right on the corner. And I think I was going to make that and then send it to us on the pod. I want to wear it in the gym. I want to fight some stereotypes of me being this big brown dude and it's saying therapist. I know it's going to bring up some conversations that I legit don't want, but I'd like to fight that battle of this brown male being a therapist. I think that would be fun. It would be like a black shirt, white letters that says therapist. Or like you could put, a black therapist on yours. You could put identity on it, right? A large therapist for mine. What's up?
Funny, man. I think they understand she's black.
He's like, we're overdoing it. No, I mean, I would wear it.
I'm black.
Wear a black therapist.
Hey, I'm black.
Just in case you recognize, I'm black.
Just in case you colorblind.
I'm black.
Got a little glaucoma going on.
I'm one of the real ones.
I'm as black as night. She just starts talking like Batman.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm thinking of New Girl when Nick, they're kind of come up with like things to make and creations. And they're like, it's a black robot. And he's like, Schmidt's like, no, we can't advertise. It's going to be terrible. It's the blackest of the black. They're like, shut up, dude. But no, in actuality, like you'll see it, like it'll say like, I am a black doctor. Yep. And so I thought that would be cool to fight some stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also if you have your own business, it could trudge up some business. I mean, yeah. I thought about it. I think we're going to do that. I can't wait to see the reaction. People just hit me with tomatoes.
Stop talking about mental health.
Yeah. You snowflake.
Question for you, being that, you do therapy and you're out and about, do you have random people come up to you in public, like at the grocery store or you're shopping or just
you mean my
food?
You mean my clients or just random people talk to me?
Just random people. I have random people all the time, like spark up conversations at the grocery store. And I'm like, am I wearing like do I have like therapists across my forehead? Because people are like telling me life stories. I'm like, I just want to get out the store. I just want to get my food and go. It happens to me all the time.
You're a little bit more what I would say approachable because you are attractive.
You don't really have approachable faces.
Yeah.
Much.
I'm kind of like the dude that you're like, he's gonna rob me and then sell my body parts for drugs.
That went somewhere. All right.
Vic, they're like, he looks kind of pretty. I'm gonna go talk to her.
Yeah. Most of us say like, he looks angry.
Yeah. I think he looks like Shrek.
Oh my god.
Wait
a minute, let me sketch. Green. Yep.
Yep. It makes sense. Yep. Not random people, Vic, but it'll be, if I tell people I'm a therapist, then it'll be life story. And I have clients that come up to me sometimes in the weight pit, but it's like a small chat, nothing super sketch. I really don't have in-depth conversations with people that I don't know at random places. It's really super surface. And I know how to get my way out of it. And to be fair, most of the time I'm in public, it's grocery shopping and I have my father with me. So he has a limited amount of time that he can walk. So I'm going to tell you to piss off pretty quickly. And the other time I'm at the weight pit and most people are grinding and doing their thing. So I'm out and about, but I'm really not. As my father says, it's a new thing called what the Americans are doing called bed rotting. I do a lot of bed rotting. Just rotting in the bed, just rotting away. It's a new thing since COVID. New thing since COVID that people really aren't leaving their house, specifically their beds or their couches, and they're just kind of rotting away.
A lot of bed sores.
A lot of bed sores. Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably should just take a few more showers. That'll probably cure some of that, but we're done with the pod.
Yeah. The bed sores really,
it's like,
really capped it off there. Good ending.
Tasty.
God, it could never end well. It's always just like, you know what? Bed sores.
That's what my clients say. They're like, why do you always end it weird on Zoom? I'm like, I don't know. I just have to.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah. It's statism. I should have got that damn COVID shot. That's a joke.
Okay.
Joke.
Joke, people. And that's the end of the show. God, idiot. He's a doctor, people. He's a doctor. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Like we said at the beginning of the pod, go to Bubs Naturals and Cure Hydration to get 20% off your entire order. DSP20, DSP20. Yeah, we would love to keep on having these guys as sponsors, so go check them out and get some stuff. Yes. Also, don't forget that we're having more therapists on, getting more peeps, getting more people on.
Yep.
Yeah, more different faces, not the same old faces with new chests.
Damn.
That was wrong. That was wrong. I'm editing that.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I played with it.
Okay. I'm done. Continue.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thanks again for being on the pod. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. I always love being here.
Yep. Same.
Right. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'm Spencer. That's Nas. Different Spectrum Podcast.
Peace, everyone. Much love.
Bye.
And remember, take care of yourself.
Or don't.
That's up
Please
to you.
do.
No, that's up to them. Don't please do. That's up to them.
Yeah.
Don't ruin our saying. We just came up with this.
I know.
Do it again.
No, it's over.
We're done.
The show's over.
It is what it is. They get what they get.